Real cases, real crimes. Some vanish without a trace. Others leave behind more questions than answers. When the trail goes cold and the truth hides in the shadows. This is Mysteries Unsolved. What happened to Teresa Halbach? Teresa Halbach was a 25-year-old freelance photographer in Calumet County, Wisconsin. She worked for Auto Trader magazine and was scheduled to photograph a vehicle at the Avery family's salvage yard on October 31st, 2005. That was the last day anyone saw her alive. That Halloween, Teresa drove to Avery's auto salvage in Manitowoc County to photograph a minivan listed by Steven Avery's sister. According to Avery's nephew, Bobby Dassey, Teresa arrived around 2:30 p.m. and was last seen walking toward Avery's trailer. She never made another appointment, and by November 3rd, her family reported her missing. 2 days later, Teresa's cousins found her Toyota RAV4 hidden under branches and auto parts on the Avery property. On November 8th, charred bone fragments and other remains were discovered in a burn pit near Avery's garage, later identified as Teresa. Steven Avery, recently exonerated after 18 years for a wrongful conviction, became the investigation's focus. At the time, he had a $36 million civil lawsuit pending against Manitowoc County. On November 9th, he was arrested for firearm possession as a felon. By November 15th, he was charged with Teresa Halbach's murder. On March 2nd, 2006, Avery's 16-year-old nephew, Brendan Dassey, was charged. Prosecutors relied on a videotaped confession in which Dassey described helping Avery assault, kill, and burn Halbach's body. He later recanted, saying the confession was coerced. The evidence presented was both compelling and controversial. Halbach's RAV4 contained both her blood and Avery's. A key to her vehicle was found in Avery's bedroom, with his DNA on it, but not hers. Her remains were intertwined with tire steel belts in the burn pit. A bullet with her DNA was found in Avery's garage. Defense attorneys argued that critical evidence had been planted. A key defense argument involved a vial of Avery's blood from his earlier case, which showed signs of tampering. They claimed investigators used this blood to frame him. The FBI testified the blood in Halbach's vehicle lacked EDTA, a preservative in stored samples, weakening the defense's claim. But doubts persisted. During the trial, Avery's lawyers raised his wrongful conviction and the continued involvement of Manitowoc County officers. Despite promises they wouldn't participate, this supported claims of a potential setup. Avery's trial began in February 2007. On March 18th, he was convicted of first-degree intentional homicide and firearm possession, but acquitted of mutilating a corpse. He was sentenced to life without parole. Brendan Dassey's trial followed. Despite concerns over his interrogation, he was convicted and sentenced to life with parole eligibility in 2048. In December 2015, the Netflix documentary Making a Murderer premiered, igniting public interest. It raised questions about the fairness of the trials and alleged misconduct. Public response was intense, with petitions and legal experts calling for action. In August 2016, a federal judge overturned Dassey's conviction, citing a coerced confession. This was later reversed on appeal, reinstating the conviction. Do you think Steven Avery was framed? Let us know in the comments below. Alternative suspect theories include Bobby Dassey and Scott Tadich, whose alibis weren't fully corroborated. Others cite Teresa's ex-boyfriend, Ryan Hillegas, who accessed her voicemail post-disappearance and had visible scratches. Avery and Dassey continue to appeal. Avery's legal team, led by Kathleen Zellner, has introduced new forensic analyses and alternate theories, but the verdicts stand. The Teresa Halbach case remains one of the most debated in American legal history. It raises questions about justice, police conduct, and confessions from vulnerable individuals. As time passes, the controversy continues, fueled by legal developments and public scrutiny. If you have information about this case, contact the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Like, share, and subscribe for more cases. Thanks for watching another episode of Mysteries Unsolved.